The smell of freshly brewed coffee lingered in the air as the morning sun painted our kitchen in shades of gold. I stood by the counter, buttering toast for my 8-year-old son, Ethan, who sat at the table with his small legs swinging, humming a tune from the cartoon he'd watched last night. We lived in a quiet town where days felt almost predictable. School runs, grocery trips, dinners at 6. Life had a rhythm I could rely on. After losing my husband, Daniel, 3 years ago in a car accident, I clung to that rhythm like a lifeline. Stability meant safety, and for Ethan, safety was all I wanted to give. That morning felt no different from any other until it did. I set a plate of toast and scrambled eggs in front of him. He grinned, the same gap-toothed smile that melted my heart every time. "Thanks, Mom," he said. "You're welcome, buddy." He ate quietly for a few minutes, then paused. His fork hovered over his plate, and he looked up at me with an expression I couldn't quite read, part curiosity, part hesitation. "Mom?" he asked softly. "Yes," I replied, wiping the counter. He leaned closer, lowered his voice to a whisper, and said 3 words that made my chest tighten. "I saw him." I froze. "Saw who?" Ethan's voice trembled. "Dad." The world tilted for a moment. My hands went cold, and the hum of the refrigerator sounded unnaturally loud. Daniel was gone, buried, mourned, and remembered every single day. There was no way Ethan could have seen him. I forced a smile, trying to keep my voice steady. "What do you mean, honey? Maybe you dreamed about him?" Ethan shook his head firmly. "No. I saw him. Yesterday. At the park." My breath caught. "Ethan, you know Daddy's in heaven." He nodded. "I know. But it was him." He smiled at me. My mind raced. Was this his way of coping? A child's imagination? Or was there something I didn't know? That night, after Ethan was asleep, I sat on the couch clutching a framed photo of Daniel. His warm eyes and easy smile stared back at me. Memories came rushing in: our first date, our wedding day, the way he held Ethan for the first time. He was gone. I was there when they told me. I saw the wreck. I signed the papers. But the way Ethan had whispered those words, it wasn't playful or pretend. He believed it. The next day, I decided to visit the park. Ethan had pointed to the far end where the old oak tree stood, its branches curling like giant arms. I stood there for a while, scanning the area. Nothing unusual. A couple of joggers passed. A woman pushed a stroller. Children chased each other near the swings. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a man leaning against the tree, hands in his pockets. Tall. Dark hair. Wearing a brown jacket, Daniel's favorite color. My heart thudded, so hard I could hear it in my ears. I took a step closer, but a child ran past me and blocked my view for a split second. When I looked again, he was gone. I told myself it was coincidence, my mind playing tricks. But Ethan kept mentioning seeing Dad in different places. At the grocery store, near our street, even across from his school. Always at a distance. Always gone when I looked. One rainy afternoon, I decided I couldn't take it anymore. I drove Ethan to school, parked, and waited in my car, watching the crowd as children filed in. Then I saw him again, standing across the street, partially hidden under an umbrella. He was looking right at me. My chest tightened. I stepped out of the car, rain soaking my jacket, but before I could cross the street, a bus rolled by, and when it passed, he was gone again. I started to dig. I pulled out old contacts, searched for anyone who might know something. Most thought I was losing my mind, but a close friend of Daniel's, Mark, hesitated when I told him. He avoided my eyes and mumbled, "Maybe it's better if you don't go looking." That was the moment I knew something was being kept from me. Weeks later, Ethan came home with a folded piece of paper in his backpack. Inside was a simple note. "I'm sorry. I'll explain soon. Stay safe." No signature. That night, I held Ethan close. "Honey, if you see Dad again, tell him to come talk to me, okay?" He nodded sleepily. "I think he's scared, Mom." And then it hit me. What if Daniel hadn't died? What if someone had made me believe he had for a reason? I didn't sleep that night. My mind spun with possibilities. 2 days later, The truth came crashing down. It was a Saturday morning when the doorbell rang. I opened the door, and there he was, Daniel, alive, standing on our porch with eyes full of tears. I couldn't breathe. My knees nearly gave out. Before I could speak, he said, "Sarah, I never wanted to leave you, but I had to protect you and Ethan." The story unfolded like something from a movie. Daniel had been involved in a legal investigation at work, one that had spiraled into threats against our family. His death had been staged with the help of authorities to keep us safe while the case was resolved. He had been living in hiding, watching from a distance to make sure we were okay. Ethan had recognized him before I ever did. I cried for hours that day, tears of relief, anger, and joy all tangled together. Ethan clung to his father, refusing to let go. Life didn't magically go back to normal overnight. We had trust to rebuild, pain to process, and a lot of questions to answer. But one thing was certain. Those 3 whispered words had opened a door I never thought I'd walk through again. And now, every time Ethan says I saw him, I don't panic. I just smile because I know that sometimes miracles happen when you least expect them.